We are live.
We are live.
We are live.
Did I say welcome to the main event?
Run that thing back, bro. You mad?
Oh man.
Behave before you talk about what I'm talking about, yeah?
Disclaimer.
Run that thing back. Nah, man, stay there in your corner, man. Run that thing back, fam. I don't want to hear nothing from you.
We are live, guys. I'm sorry, Mr. Blitztek.
Jay, 1/3 of the Cyber Nerds.
And welcome to another House of Dragons discussion. Today we have episode 4, where everything is mad, but it's not mad. But as usual, as always, that's what happens in the Cyber Nerds realm, innit? So be super involved. Subscribe. Road to 200k. Head over to patreon.com/cybernerds. Watch the full reaction before the Dat Piff chopped up version drops on the channel, innit? So, gents, another week. Who wants to start today?
For me, this is probably the weakest episode we've had so far, which is fine because it's like we started off with 3 fight episodes, but I felt like this episode kind of just focused on all of the weakest characters. Do you know what I'm saying? They focused on the king a lot, which the thing is, it's mad because his narrative this episode I don't think is wrong, but he's just making decisions based off of the wrong information, almost leading to the right conclusion, but still making the wrong decisions. Like he's in a cluster of not knowing what the hell's going on. So there's that. What else? The Queen trash character to me. Like and yeah, like I didn't really bang with the episode. Like it's quite meh. Like even if besides obviously the hand getting de-handed. Yeah, man, I could have easily just missed this. Even with that happening, I probably could have just missed this episode. Like, I don't really know what we was doing here today.
You know what? Yeah, I feel like I took it. It was a weird episode. Everything was just so, like, how can I say it? There was no hype, no nothing. Like the pace of the episode was just super calm, like one tone. But I also felt that there was a lot of cogs moving, which is what you're mentioning about, like there's all these things happening, wrong information, but you're trying to do the wrong thing, but the outcome is wrong. And it's just like, it feels like this episode was like, this is the calm before storm, and this is where the whole division is happening, but they just handled it in such a weird way, like just super linear.
No. In the previous episodes, more cogs have been moving, more better dialogue. Even the way it's shot, bruv. In the other episodes, it's just better than this. Like the other episodes that we've up to this point, the other episodes have just been better on all fronts, bruv. Like even like the whole someone following the princess, them like it's just man. Like I said, I can't even put my finger on what it really was, but. I did that. Nothing in this episode banged with me. Like I
do agree with what you're saying, but it's just like it just felt like we're trying to do all these little things.
They do that every episode better than they do it in this episode, and that's my point. Where I'm like, the regular cogs moved, but I personally was not moved by the cogs being moved.
None of us really did.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's like the whole thing with Daemon getting dragged in and just laying on the floor and not disputing what happened. That's a very Daemon thing to do. But even the way it was presented, like I weren't with it. Like him coming in at the beginning, having the crown on and all of that, it was cool. Like, but I just feel like usually there's more. Like there was a energy and a punch missing to the episode, and I don't believe it had anything to do with the absence of dragons in the episode. It wasn't a lack of action. It was just a lack of something else. And even like the writing and I weren't feeling it. I was not feeling it.
What you got for us, sir?
Yeah, like so same on the same boat. Like I don't mind like a slow-paced episode, especially like you said, if something's hard-hitting or whatever. But yeah, it was like a substance, especially towards the middle of it. Cause I feel like the beginning was good. They were telling us, she's trying to get married. Damon's coming in. He's like reconciling with his brother. Then they say why the king is no longer like messing with the princess. In the middle, it just felt mad weird. But the thing I like the most is what's happened to the hand, where the one time he does get good information, right information, that's what's leading to his downfall. But it's usually where man's almost conspired, because he came out and was like, why is everyone calling me out at night? Like, I don't want to be messing with this right now. He gets that information, and it seems like he's always, which we know, he's been trying to place himself in there, but never really going for the crown. So now that he's had his information, man's like, oh, you're definitely gunning for us, even though you've been here for, was it 2 generations?
Mm-hmm. Two kings.
It's like, oh, you're always trying to like make sure you're
like get to the top.
That's it. And it's like, no, man actually came with intentions, like good intentions this time.
But this is what I'm saying.
Snowballed
like,
the wrong way.
Like,
I thought that was actually a decent part.
It's like everybody had like their intentions, their good. Like for example, Daemon. Daemon taking his niece to the brothel to me was like a lesson for her to embrace. Yo, take what you want.
Right.
And this is when she gets to her bedroom, she wraps up, man. Oh, do you know what I'm saying? Like, look what the way he just handled her. She was like, bro, I thought we was going all the way. You just left me there. You bust case. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do as well. I've got that energy. So that's what she does with the other guy. So it seems like they're just trying to make all these moves, but just the pace and everything was just like man just over here flowing. It's like, yeah, we get it. Man's not feeling it, and it doesn't have to be explosive or anything like that. But maybe the mismanagement of the flow wasn't great about this episode, isn't it? But even Daemon coming to at the beginning with that energy, I first thought, oh, this is just a play. Because you're doing it to your brother. Do you know what I'm saying? You're coming all humble. Yeah, I'm coming with the crown because, you know, that's who I am. But then I'm going to get on my knees and this is going to be part of the play. So now I'm just waiting to see what's going to come out of this episode.
I just Daemon's not like... Daemon's not a cruddy character, bro. He's not cruddy, fam.
He's to your face.
Yeah, he's not cruddy. He does not do crud. He is just who he is. Do you know what I'm saying? So when he's coming and bending it, I don't think it's a play. I don't think there's mad intentions behind it. He's always been 100% up front about what he wants, who he is, and the direction he's going. Even in the instance where him and the king are having a conversation, and he's like, "Oh, bro, you're sullied my daughter." He's like, "I'll marry her." Like, we don't see it coming, but I'm also not shocked by that because Daemon's just being Daemon. He wants what he wants. He's gonna say what he wants and whatever. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So I just don't see it there. Even the thing with the hand is interesting because it's like, if the information about Daenerys didn't come, I still feel like it gets to this point where he gets de-handed because she pressed the button on her dad. And this is the first time I rate her in terms of her negotiation skills. This is the first time she's used her air powers to actually do something. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, you're saying, you want me to get married? Bam. That is my duty. That's what she says. And she's known that's her duty the whole time. She doesn't like her duty. She doesn't want to bang with her duty. And she doesn't... But when pressed the button on her, she will do it. And that's what she says. She says, like, look, I'll do this. Get rid of the hand. So her biggest opposer is now off the table because she's going to do something that she's supposed to do. And I rate that. But at the same time, I'm like, the king, bro, you're like, when man's coming to you with it, it's like, oh, he's then bringing up all the grievances he's got against the hand, which I don't rate either.
Yeah,
because
you should be bringing them up.
he shouldn't have been bringing them up, bro, because he already said, bro, everyone at the table was self-interest.
Yeah.
So all you're supposed to do is you're never supposed to pull man up on his grievance. You're supposed to log his self-interest and be like, is this good for me? Is this not good for me? Yes, I'm taking that. No, I'm not taking that. So even me, from this episode, I have now come to at ease with the hand.
Yeah, same.
Because, bruv, even before, it's like, I felt like he was doing self-interest stuff, but it was almost to the demise of the king. But from his dialogue here, when they're talking about how he's been here for 2 generations and, oh, you taught me how to be the king, I don't think that the hand's cruddy either, bruv. And, I don't think that the hand's cruddy, fam. I think, and the king's already saying, I'm aware. So if you're aware, bruv, you shouldn't be de-handing man today. You should be like, negotiating something else. All right, look, when I go, you have to go as well.
Gotcha.
Now, if and this is why Daenerys is a gangster, because she negotiated him out, but she negotiated him out today. The king should have negotiated him out when he goes out. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's where, for me as a king, his eye continues to be low.
Yeah.
He does never negotiates back.
Yeah.
He always gets negotiated on.
That's
And
it.
I'm like, bro,
That's
as the
swaying.
king, firstly, you should just be slamming the hammer. But if you're gonna negotiate, it's got to be a back and forwards thing. So here, I'm just like, nah.
I hear you on that still, because even when like the scenes where they're showing the hand, obviously previous episodes, we're always thinking, wow, man's the same stuff, and we're saying he's moving mad. But the first time where you see his face, like you see like, oh, this is happening to me kind of thing.
Right.
Man's actually feeling upset. I'm like, I actually fall for my man because his intentions are actually good this time.
And that's the thing, bro. It's Sam. I don't even think it's this time, bro.
Yeah, like, sorry, like
it's
you're
not
saying,
even
like,
this time. But it's like, bro. For me, that's a wrongful termination. Like if we was in 2022, I'd be telling, yo, can you send them an email, please? Because that was wild.
Yeah.
And even in the episode, and this is another thing I didn't like about this episode, because they knew where they was gonna end, they tried to set up the hand of being even cruddier in the beginning of the episode. They're showing him lurking in the back, lurking in the back, because they want you to be like, oh, he's on crud,
So
but he's not.
That's
not.
That's the twist for me where if you watch previous episodes and you're like watching this, I'm like, man's always there, you know, sneaking in the back. And like you're saying, towards the end of the episode, you're seeing man's like, why are you guys moving to me like this? I don't want this information now. Gets the information, and he's always saying, I don't want to be the guy to give you this confident information, but who else is going to do that?
Yeah, that's
his
your
job.
That's his job.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
his
That's
job.
his job. So, man doing his job, and it gets wrongfully, like I said, unhanded. I'm like, that's actually really messed up.
But this is where like, but you see that for the show, like it's like everyone is getting accused wrong, but they've done something, but the outcome is not what you've done. Like, and this is what I'm like, oh man, like I see what you do, I see what you're trying to do, I see that you're trying to divide everyone, but just the flow and the delivery of things just wasn't. He just wasn't there, bro.
And next thing with the king, like the king and the queen situation to me is wild, because it's like, bro, firstly, you two ain't even sleeping in the same chambers. If you ain't sleeping in the same chambers, look, it's calm, but you should at least be having bastard kids. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, why are you not? You know what I'm saying? You're not fully committed to her, and it might be a thing where it's like, all right, cool, you love your wife, boom, boom, boom. But then if you've taken another wife and you're willing on bringing up heirs, and you know the hand's self-interest, then you should have contingency plans for that. Now his contingency plan is, oh, my daughter is gonna be the heir, but you already know, like in the realm, that's rattling everyone. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, bruv, you gotta have more contingency plans, especially when you know, like, he must know he's on the way out. Do you know what I'm saying? In terms of like, I still think that we got a little bit of the hand today of seeing the king's actual hand and seeing where his fingers have gone. And we saw, I think it was like a couple shots of his back when he was beating the queen, that you see that the black mark still there. So, and it's like spread a little bit, like it's in patches now. So you must know that your demise is coming, fam. So I would say like he's got to spread his seed more, fam. Get me?
But you see, but that goes back to the first episode when we was talking about, like with his ex-wife before she dies giving birth. Like, why didn't you have a contingency plan as a king? Because that's what plays part of your family and keeps the realm together.
I know, I hear that. But in the first episode, like I said, in the first one, I'm fine with a king being loyal to his wife.
Right.
I'm fine with that. But in this episode, when we receive the knowledge that you are aware that the hand is self-interested and you've been playing along with that, that's when you should have this contingency plan shouldn't have come then. It should have come when you started. Oh, I'm taking a new wife. Bam. Now my new job is heirs. Regardless of whether you've got a successor already and you've got a boy heir, you should just be continuing that anyway, because you know I potentially can't trust my hand. But you can trust your hand, but you're being reactive to what your daughter's doing and you're all over the place. He says his daughter's the political issue. No, brother. You're the political issue. You're the political issue.
But you see what he was saying to her, like, yo, your position, like being the king or queen, is bigger than yourself. It's bigger than everything because of all these responsibilities that you have.
It's the perception.
It's literally what he was saying to her. So why didn't he have the same energy for himself?
You can't.
When
you can't. Someone like him has no self-awareness.
But you see that, but you'll be able to, but he'll go and tell his daughter,
yes,
your position is bigger than anything that you feel, you think, anything like that, right? But when he came to him prior to his wife, to that actually terminated her life because he couldn't, execute ahead of time. Look where we are now. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it's Kings. Finished, bro. So finished.
Yeah, so.
But the journey continues, man. The journey continues. Ladies and gentlemen, do jump in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts on this episode. Who do you side with?
I need a second.
Go on.
Because there's a scene in this, the brothel scene between Daemon and the niece. Do you know what I'm saying? The only reason I bring this up is, and like, I'm 50-50 on like whether they should have actually went all the way with it or not. Do you get what I'm saying? But obviously they don't want to throw that in there and sully either of those characters. But at the same time, anyone who was raging at that scene who supports Daenerys and Jon Snow, shut your mouth. 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 Go eat Dragon Balls. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's mad to me. It's mad to me. It's mad to me. Listen, I'm not a supporter of these man's things. You get me? But it's wild.
Must be a Targaryen thing.
But the thing is, it definitely is a Targaryen thing. A man was even talking about all the when it was going on. I was like, this is very weird, obviously. But as Targaryens, and even the Queen says, "Yo, you man have some queer sense of relationship." Like the Targaryens for me, and I will say, all Targaryen men, I believe, they're all cursed, fam. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think that was wild. But I just want those people, because I know there's going to be some who are like, oh, this is okay, but when it's the same thing. Shut your mouth.
Yo,
from me to you.
You just mentioned something. The Queen, there's one part when the King's brother is looking at her. Like, did I just pick up the way he was just looking at her? And then her energy towards Daenerys, when she's pretty much accusing her, even though she only heard the information. Like, is that something they're trying to do between these two?
For me, I didn't even rate that. I didn't rate the conversation between Daenerys and the Queen anyway, because I'm like, yo, Daenerys, why are you explaining anything to her? You don't like. And then even when you're hearing this Chinese whispers, you're still bro. And that's what I didn't understand about that. But then obviously Daemon comes with the opposite energy for the King, which I'm like, no, you should have had that energy for the Queen, and he should have had that energy for the King. But Daemon's just Daemon, and bro, like I said, the Queen's washed to me, bro. Wash. Don't come here talking about bearing kids and now you're upset and all of this when you was over there making man paper planes if Damon's wife died. Dead, bro.
That's what I was liking. Like the whole episode is just mirror of everybody, because obviously she's like saying, "Oh yeah, I've got no friends. I'm here just spotting kids," and you're saying, "Oh, when it's late at night, the King's calling you." I'm like, "Oh, but it's late. I knew he was gonna get I want to go to bed," and then she's out here just like making some long face, and then you got Rhaenyra out here enjoying life, like.
Bro, I just felt like they put these little crumbs there, so later on we'll see what will happen. But ladies and gentlemen, that is that for this week.
Ooh, before you go.
God damn. God.
What do you guys rate the episode?
I'm gonna give it a 3.
I'm here with a 2.5, man. I'm here with a 2.5. Game of Thrones has set very high standards, and this was not up to it, fam. Not for me, still. So I'm 2.5.
Yeah. What he said.
3? No, yeah, that's.
What he said.
Yeah.
Okay, 2.5 it is. Alright, on that note, I'm Remy GS.
Sam, Mr. Blitztek.
J1 further to Cyber Nerds.
Peace.